The Baltimore Ravens came into the 2020 NFL Draft with a bevy of picks and ended with a bevy as well, making 10 selections in total. They had 4 in round 3, where they grabbed defensive tackle Justin Madubuike out of Texas A&M and offensive lineman Tyree Phillips out of Mississippi State to get better along both sides of the line of scrimmage. I thought the Broderick Washington pick in round 5 was a good one as well. He was one of the more underrated defensive linemen in the draft class, in my opinion. What I liked most about the Ravens draft was the fact that they just took good football players, period. For example, running back J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State gives them another explosive element to their offensive attack. He was there when they were on the clock in round 2, and they made no hesitations of taking one of the top backs in the draft class. I thought he would have been a first-round draft pick. Dobbins is cut from the same cloth as Mark Ingram, with younger and a bit more explosive legs. I also like the fact that they took Ben Bredeson out of Michigan. To me, he was one of the top 5 guards in the draft class. I didn't think he was getting enough press leading up to the draft, so in my eyes, the Ravens got themselves a steal and a potential starter in the former Wolverine. Baltimore did a fantastic job of retooling their linebacking core with this draft class. They took Patrick Queen out of LSU in round 1, and later on in round 3 took Malik Harrison out of Ohio State. Both players bring very good football instincts to the table. Queen is a terrific athlete who can play all 3 backer spots, while Harrison is more along the lines of your classic inside backer, and I'm a big fan of how quickly he's able to get downhill and make a play. And in addition to adding the explosive Dobbins to the backfield, Baltimore also added explosiveness to the slot receiver position as well, with the selections of both Devin Duvernay out of Texas and James Prochet out of SMU. Duvernay is the more explosive of the two and is one of the better catch and run threats in the draft class, and I would expect him to be utilized in a multitude of ways within their offense. And Prochet is an excellent route runner who was also prolific at SMU. He knows how to consistently work himself open versus both man and zone coverage, and both guys had strong weeks at the Reese's Senior Bowl. It's almost like the Ravens had 2 draft classes with the amount of undrafted free agents they were able to sign after the draft finished this past April, 21 in total. Here are a few that stood out to me the most, starting with quarterback Tyler Huntley, who was my 4th overall quarterback in the draft class. He's extremely efficient as a passer who got better every season at Utah. You look at his jump from last year to this year, it was tremendous. And I like how he is able to throw with touch, timing, and anticipation. He's coming off of a standout week down in St. Petersburg, Florida at the East-West Shrine Bowl. Quietly, the Ravens are looking to become a quarterback factory, just like Philadelphia talked about doing, judging by how they've acquired talents like Lamar Jackson, Robert Griffin III, Trace McSorley, and now Tyler Huntley. What stands out to me the most about Tristan Colon Castillo's game out of Missouri is that his ability to recover when he's beat initially is very impressive. It doesn't matter if it's in the run game or in pass protection, he is quickly able to rectify a mistake and make it right. Another center the Ravens added was Sean Pollard out of Clemson. What's intriguing about him is that he has played 3 of the 5 positions up front in his collegiate career, making him the ideal swing or depth guy along the offensive interior. Chauncey Rivers out of Mississippi State is a very good player in pursuit. He takes great angles to the ball carrier, he's assignment sound, and brings really good bursts off the corner, showing that consistency to be able to convert speed to power. I had the pleasure of being the color analyst on a lot of Georgetown Hoya football games over the course of Michael Darius' career, so I got to see a ton of him play. He's built like a running back and plays a very physical game. I like how he has those strong hands to go up at the catch point and rip the ball away from a defensive back to make that play. He's also got underrated run after the catch skills as well, and it's good to see him get an opportunity as he played really hard for Hoya's head coach Rob Scarlata. Another FCS prospect who played hard every Saturday was John Dock out of James Madison. He gets off the ball so quick that it makes him very disruptive on game day, and I thought he was able to use good technique when he was asked to play in a 2-point stance, which is why I thought his move to an off-ball linebacker after playing mainly rush in college would be a seamless one. And staying in the FCS as well as the Colonial Athletic Association for that matter, with edge rusher Marcus Willoughby out of Elon. I was at the College Gridiron Showcase and saw how well he was able to adapt to playing against a lot of the top level FBS counterparts along the offensive line. He's got very good athleticism with outstanding acceleration and closing speed to the quarterback or ball carrier. He's able to get from backside to front side really well. And even though he's 6'2", he plays with the length of someone that's 6'5", 6'6", and he was very productive at Elon, and his game quite honestly reminds me a lot of current Raven Pernell McPhee. I gave the Ravens an A+ for their draft. Every year is just amazing to see how they operate their draft. They just take good football players. In the 2020 edition, they added playmakers for their franchise MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson. They've added both talent and depth along both sides of the line of scrimmage and made significant strides in improving the second level of their defense at linebacker. So all in all, not a bad haul once again for the reigning AFC North champs.